This is Malenia, Blade of Miquella, one of the fiercest yet most tragic characters you'll meet in the lands between. Over the course of this video, I'll trace her origin as we paint her portrait, the Scarlet Rot that cursed her, the epic battle she fought, and why her story matters to everything around the Haligtree. Malenia is the painful echo of divine lineage and impossible choices. Born a twin to Miquella and the daughter of Queen Marika and Radahn, Malenia and her brother were Empyrean candidates, meant to bring in a vision of a new age. Instead, they inherited a curse that twisted their fates from the start. Being Empyreans meant potential godhood, but Malenia's divinity came with a cost. The Scarlet Rot lived inside her, invisible at first, then ruthless. It ate up flesh and sight, stealing her limbs and eyes in time. Unlike a simple wound, the rot was a corrupting force, slow and inevitable. Despite the horror in her body, Malenia refused to surrender. She fought, she trained, she became stronger even as she decayed. Miquella's role in the story of his sister was crucial. He was obsessed with healing, with undoing the cruelties their parentage had handed them. He devised mechanical solutions, prosthetics, a needle of unalloyed gold to stall the rot, and inventions to keep Malenia standing. He encased hope in metal and guilt. Those devices didn't cure the rot, but they bought Malenia precious time, and they shaped the woman we encounter in the Haligtree. A warrior half ravaged and half made, a combination of love and ingenuity. At some point, Malenia found a master, a nomadic swordsman of the flowing curved sword, who once sealed away an outer god of rot. Under him she learned discipline and technique, a style that married savage efficacy to grace. The training gave her wings of form and motion, and a kind of movement that lets a rotting body become a deadly torrent on a battlefield. When the Elden Ring shattered, Malenia claimed a shard. The act that named her Shardbearer also put her in the centre of the Shattering's brutal tournaments. She gathered followers who would become the Clean Rot Knights, soldiers who accepted the slow putrefaction at her side because of what she represented, her fierce will, an uncompromising blade, a leader who would not flinch even as the rot ate at her from the inside out. Her march down the Bellum Highway is one of the great military displays in her story. She humbled other demigods on the field, even Godric the Grafted, who begged for mercy. She was not merely strong, she was strategic, dominant, and incredibly resilient. The songs sung of those battles are about more than bragging rights. They map how the rot reshaped territories, and how a single demigod could tilt the balance of the shattering. The duel with Radahn was an inevitable turning point. In the Caelid Wilds, Malenia and Radahn fought a duel of titans. In that clash, she unleashed the Scarlet Rot, a kind of rot that doesn't just wound, it transforms the very landscape it touches. This rot produced the first Rotflower bloom, a physical bloom of blight that reduced Caelid to a rotting wasteland and birthed the swamp of Aeonia. That moment showed the terrifying scale of Malenia's power. Her curse made her a weapon of mass destruction, capable of rewriting the very geography it was unleashed upon. Her outburst of power came at a cost, though. After her battle with Radahn, Malenia fell into a coma-like sleep. Finley, one of the Clean Rot Knights, rescued her and carried her to safety at the Haligtree. Meanwhile, Miquella retreated into his work, encasing himself in the Haligtree in a desperate attempt to craft a new Erd tree and cure both his and his twin sister's curse. But fate has a habit of intervening. Miquella was taken by Morg before he could fully emerge. Malenia's dream state and Miquella's absence allowed the Scarlet Rot to leak into the Haligtree itself, seeding new horrors. Scarlet Rot's ecological impact was enormous. Caelid became a ruined, corrupted region. The rot created the Scarlet Butterflies and the Kindred of Rot. Groups like Sage Gowry and others worshipped her as a goddess of rot, hoping for a second bloom to usher in a new, crimson-tinted age. But Malenia never accepted the cult. She resisted becoming a deity in their image. Her story becomes a paradox. She is both the vector and the refuser of that vector's worship. Within the Haligtree, grief and ambition compounded Miquella's failure to return, and Morg's theft of his emergence left a deep wound. Malenia dreamed through the eons, the rot seeping out, infecting the Haligtree and the world around it. When the Tarnished finally reach the Haligtree, they work Malenia, and their duel ends with her losing to a true match. Yet she blooms again, reborn as a nascent goddess of rot. In Birth Blooms, she is a figure of cyclical tragedy. Every victory is a step towards a greater corruption of the world. The interesting thing is, Malenia's boss fight is more than difficulty, it's storytelling. Mechanics like her lifesteal on hit, the devastating waterfowl dance, the phase change and the Scarlet Aeonia all dramatise her story into gameplay. The fight encodes her very essence, unstoppable regeneration, devastating bloom and the bittersweet beauty of baroque decay. Even her prosthetics and missing limbs are storytelling props. They're evidence of Miquella's care and the rot's cruelty. What makes Malenia resonate is how personal her tragedy feels. She's not only powerful, but she's intimate with loss. The twin dynamic with Miquella, his obsessive care, her refusal to succumb and the catastrophic consequences of birth choices create an Homeric tragedy within Elden Ring. Her bloom reshapes people's lives, religions, and landscapes. She's a mirror for the theme running through the very lands. Creation and corruption are often two fingers on the same hand. Players remember Malenia because she is designed to haunt, visually, mechanically, emotionally. Her fight is unforgiving, her presence absolutely unforgettable, and her aesthetic is a perfect fusion of beauty and rot. Whether you faced her and failed 40 times, or beat her once and felt a little hollow afterwards, the encounter lingers still. And that's the finished painting, Malenia, beauty and destruction married together. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this summary of Malenia's story, let me know what you'd like to see next down in the comments. I'm working on plans for a more in-depth Elden Ring lore deep dive, and a large painting to go with it, and I can't wait to share it with you. Like and subscribe for more. Your support is always warmly appreciated. And until next time, farewell.